Hello and welcome to part 7 of the Ultimate Needle Felted Mouse tutorial. In today's part we're going to be adding the body wrap and really adding lots of shaping to our mouse, and this is the magical part of the tutorial because we're really going to see the mouse starting to come to life. You're really going to start to see the shaping of the mouse's body and all those little crevices and indentations in the body that make him look really mouse-like. So I hope you enjoy it and I will see you on the other side. Bye. Okay, so now we've made our wraps for our mouse, we are going to attach the body wrap. So take the first wrap that we made a moment ago and you're going to place it on your felting mat, and then you're going to pop your mouse bang centre in the middle of it. And you want to position him so that there's probably about sort of ½ inch of fluff by his feet, and then it's flush with the neck. You don't want him to be placed so that it's by his head because we're going to be popping a wrap on later on, and if you do that we won't be able to cover his feet properly. So make sure that you've got about ½ inch that's going to be going over the feet area. And then with two hands, hold the mouse down, and then with your thumb and your forefinger we're going to pull over one side, and we're going to hold that firmly in place with our index and forefinger, and then we're going to anchor it in with our fine twisted needles, our 40 gauge needles. And we're going from about 1.5 inches from the outside of the wrap and then felting into the extremities of it. And all we're doing initially was we're just tacking it in. And obviously we're using a fine needle now because we're coming to sort of the finishing side of our mouse, and the sort of the what you will see once he's completed. So we want to make sure that the holes we're making are as small and insignificant as possible. So I've just done the same thing with the other side, and we're just anchoring it all in place. And once it's all been anchored in, we can then start moving on to shaping the body. So same thing again, I'm just using both hands to pull that down, and you want to pull it down quite nice and tight, almost like he's wearing some support pants, is how I describe it. It needs to be relatively firm because you want it to integrate all the body, and the firmer you wrap it, the less felting you'll need to do as well. So I'm just going to go around the side again, just to get it all nicely firmly tacked in. And then we're just going to take it under the arms. And you may find if you've got more excess than what I have here under the arms, I would recommend pulling some away. But what I'm doing so that it's not all gathering in one spot and making an ugly lump, I'm felting it flush against the head to prevent that from happening. So don't feel tempted to kind of like felt it into a lump around the arm, because it will create sort of ugly, uneven lumps when the mouse is finished. So I'm just going to felt it around the neck, and as you can see there's a lot of air pockets. Even though we've pulled it very tightly, we've still got a lot of air pockets around the mouse, so we're just sort of felting around all that initial looseness to get it tight. And just don't be afraid to move the arm and then bring that wool around it when you get to this stage. And then I'm just going around the neck area, and there's like that lump there. I'm just going to felt that in a bit more with my fine needles to get rid of that. And as you start sort of shaping your mouse, you'll start seeing areas that you do want to kind of concentrate on more in terms of felting and making it look more even. So as you felt, it will start to take more shape. So now we're going to do the bum, and we're going to start about 1.5 inches from the sort of middle of the bum, and we're going to bring it round in between the legs, and we're going to anchor that into place. So now we've got kind of like almost like a pair of fluffy mouse trousers. And bring it towards the tail. Don't be afraid to move the tail out the way like I have done here. So as you can see here, we've got lots of excess wool and it's very, very lofty. So be very careful when you felt the legs in, because the needles you're using, they are very fine, and if you hit a wire, it will break them. So just be very cautious when you're doing this and take your time with it. There's absolutely no rush. I mean, I'm doing this relatively quickly at the moment because I've been doing it for quite a while, so I kind of know roughly where I'm aiming for. But if you're not sure, just take your time. And like when you're icing a cake, you want to make sure that you're kind of like bringing the edges that are kind of gathering and you're getting those lumps, just bring them out again and smooth them, and then tack them down again, so you're getting a smooth finish, like when you put icing on top of a cake and all of the ends kind of gather together and you have to kind of pull it out and then smooth it down. It's a similar concept with this stage of making your mouse. So I'm just moving his tail out the way again and concentrating around that bottom area, getting that in nice and tightly. And we can pull away some of this excess as well if there is too much. Or you could even use your embroidery scissors to cut some away. But what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just kind of working out, because it's difficult to tell how much you're going to need, I'm just felting it down into the foot. And then if I need to, I can remove some. But I'm just going to felt what I've got into the foot initially and then check it and then decide what I want to do. So there is quite a bit there by that pink foot. I'm going to twist it round. That's the other technique, is when you've got lots of excess and looseness around the back of the foot like I have, what I've done there is I've just used my needle to just kind of felt it in a kind of an anti-clockwise direction. So you're sort of pulling the wool around the foot as you felt to get it tighter around that armature. This is probably one of the more time-consuming areas that you're going to be felting. The body is very straightforward and you've got a nice big area to go to town on, but the feet can be quite tricky. So just accept the fact that it will take a little while, but it's, it takes a while for everybody. I'm just going to felt that in. If the fluff does go over the feet, it's not a problem because it's kind of integrating it in with the rest of the wool. So you've got that pinkness, but it's not kind of like overtly pink. So it's not a problem as long as it's not too much. The problems start when you have too much white wool around the pink of the foot, and you sort of defeats the whole object of wrapping it with pink wool in the first place. So what I'm doing there is I'm just bending it, and as you bend your mouse in different positions, which is a nice thing with this because he has got the wire armature, so you can kind of move him about, you'll find that you'll get different bits of looseness occurring. So as you move it and you find that looseness, you can give it a tack in to get it nice and tight. And I'm going in probably about over 5mm with my needle, and you want to kind of use your needle quite robustly when you're kind of felting the bulk of the body. So you want to use a medium amount of pressure, I would say. You don't want to kind of go too crazy, but you want to use enough pressure so that you're hitting the rest of that core wool that you added a moment ago, and it's felting your wrap into that core wool. I'm just going around the neck here. Back to the foot. And you'll find that when you do make a project like this, and it is quite a time-consuming project, that you will sort of go back to certain areas. You think, actually, no, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to go back to that and do a bit more on that bit. But there is no hard and fast rules in terms of which part of the mouse you're felting when you're adding the wrap. Just go with your gut instincts, and just once you've got it anchored in, just start going with sort of the areas that you feel need the most attention. So I'm just going to pull away some of this excess because I've got a bit too much here. And then, like the other foot, I'm just going to start felting that down in a kind of a methodical way so that I don't get any of those lumps that we spoke about a moment ago. And as you stab with your needle, you'll find that you'll sort of hit that pressure where you've wrapped the wool, and it will be quite significant, the kind of the pressure that you need to put in to get it to kind of the wool to stick into the wrap. So you're using a bouncing motion straight up and down to get that firmness to felt it in without being too hard. And then what I'm doing is you just move it, always moving the tail, and then looking at the direction of which way the wool wants to go, if you've got any ends like I have here, and just bring them round with your needle to get them to kind of lie flat. So now you've tucked all the ends into your mouse, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at shaping his body. So I'm just checking for symmetry to make sure it's all even, and you can probably see that one foot is slightly thicker than the other. So what I'm doing is just taking my needles, I'm just speeding this up a bit for you so it's not too boring, but I'm just taking my needles and I'm just felting that larger foot down a bit more so that they're as symmetrical as can be. Felting around the leg area. And a really good tip for getting symmetry, especially when you've finished your project, is to take photos sort of from this stage onwards. And what this does, because with the naked eye sometimes you miss things, you don't see the kind of the difference in symmetry, you don't see the errors, whereas with a photograph you do. I'm sure there's a scientific reason behind it, but I just find it very helpful to start taking photographs of my mouse and looking at it from the photo, and from there I can see what needs to be done to correct any issues that might arise, like, you know, my foot's a bit too large, or one side of the head is not the same as the other. So I'm still using my fine needles at the moment, and there's quite a bit of looseness around the mouse body, so I'm essentially just felting it all in, and at the same time sort of squeezing it again to get that shape forming that we want our mouse to have. So I'm pushing round under the arms, and yeah, as you can see there, I've got, you can't see my hand, I'm just felting that down around the arm again to get it nice and tight. And then same with this side as well, felting it around. So don't push it downwards, felt it into the arm flat. And then continue to just felt around the body until when you squeeze it, it should feel quite nice and firm. And you can see my left side again is a bit thicker, a bit fuller than the other side. So I'm just felting that left thigh and hip down, giving him a squidge. And just continue to do this until you're happy with the shape of your mouse. And as we progress in this section of the tutorial, we're going to be adding in indentations for our legs and things. So he'll start to look more natural in shape. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to create more of a curve for his bottom, so it kind of goes upwards a bit more. So I'm just felting upwards into the rest of the body from the underside of the bottom. Get it nice and tight between the legs again. Just keep moving. Any limbs that get in your way, just keep moving them out of the way. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, he's looking pretty good. I'm just going to do a bit more. So that foot's looking a bit more the same as the other now. So that's your wrap felted in